So as you can tell, we are in a car, and we're never in a car. We are back home. We are in Minnesota. We've been here for about a week. We're doing some major wedding planning as it is coming down to crunch time. I am with Pat in a video that's not a vlog, so that means we are gonna film a Q&A mukbang for you.
Which is good because I'm hungry.
So we thought we would film a Q&A mukbang because we did that last time with Shake Shack and we answered a lot of you guys' questions and it was really fun and a lot of you guys seemed to like it. So we thought that since Shake Shack was a very New York thing to eat, we thought we would be very Midwest. And I don't think it's Midwest, I don't know. I feel like they have these over a lot of places, but we thought we would go to Culver's because yum, and I used to eat Culver's a lot in college when I was super hungover. It's good. It's good.
That was your hungover food?
It was. All of my roommates, the girls and I, would always go to Culver's. Oh, wow. So one of my favorite things at Culver's, their onion rings are bomb. So we got some onion rings. I set these right here. This is difficult. So one thing, if you know about Culver's, you know that they're pretty famous for what they call butter burgers. They're essentially just regular burgers, but I don't know, they must do something different to them. That's what they're known for. So we've got butter burgers, we got some chicken fingers and onion rings and a shake, and we're gonna eat and answer questions.
I always used to come here after a band.
Yeah.
Like after we had a concert.
Yeah,
everyone would like come here and hang out.
Since we just talked about how we're back for wedding planning, a lot of people are asking us about how that's going, if we disagree on anything. What's new on that, and I think that was the top question on our last one too, and we had only found the venue last time. We have all the vendors secured. We secured the vendors, which means we have a DJ, a photographer, a videographer, a florist, hair and makeup, photo booth, like a wedding planner, day of coordinator. We have our dress. We don't have Pat's suit yet.
Ooh, yeah.
And we don't have any of the groomsmen's suits yet, but we have all the bridesmaid dresses. I have my dress. It's not here yet, but I have gotten that. So that's pretty much it. And now the next few months are where we actually get to sit down with all these vendors and plan things. So with the florist, I get to sit down and talk about bouquets. What else? The DJ, we have to start thinking of songs, what we're gonna dance to. So that's it's kind of at a steady pace right now, but the next few months are gonna move a lot quicker, which is why we're back. So what we did while we were here is I gave the rest of the girls their bridesmaid dresses that live here, and then we also met with our wedding videographer, which you guys are hopefully gonna love because it's the video that you guys are gonna see on YouTube, and he's so cool.
Yeah,
and
he was very, very nice. I'm really excited that he's the one shooting.
Yeah, both. Yeah, he does a really nice job. But do you disagree on anything on wedding planning? Finally took a bite.
Not really. I can't think of anything that you mentioned that you were really into that I was like very, very against. So for the most part, we see eye to eye. There's some things that I'm like, I don't understand why you want that. But I'm like, you know.
Like what? Oh, I know what he thinks is weird. The sparklers.
Yes.
He goes, why do we need sparklers? You know when they do like the fake exit? Like, no one ever leaves after, fun fact, I feel like everyone knows this, but the whole sparkler exit where they take a bunch of photos, you just like make your guests hold that and then you go, okay, now back in, let's everybody like keep partying, because you don't actually leave. At least I haven't been to a wedding where the bride and groom actually leave after those exits. I don't know, you tell me.
It's whatever.
But I want to do that, and he's like, why?
I don't disagree with it. I guess I'm just, it doesn't do anything for me, but.
Somebody asked how we afford to travel so often.
I won the lottery a couple years ago. No?
No.
I got hit by a city bus. Also no.
I made my money the old-fashioned way. I got ran over by a Lexus. Maybe it's not well known, but I know I've watched other YouTubers talk about this, or other people on Instagram or bloggers, but a lot of the times when we started, well, first of all, when we decided that we wanted to do travel videos, we kind of invested time and money into going on a few trips of our own and then filming them to kind of show what we can do and the way that we film and how we showcase places that we travel to. If you want to get into more travel, it's a great way to kind of, you know, show people. And when we work with tourism boards who will send us on these trips,
you need to show people that you can do those things. Like, we did do it for fun.
Yeah.
And then they started reaching out after seeing how we film things and, you know, XYZ following that, so.
Exactly. So a lot of the times we'll work with Airbnb, or we'll work with travel tourism boards that want to show what their country has to offer or their town, whatever. And we definitely pick and choose those, but that's how we are able to travel so often.
That was a good bite.
I finally got a pickle. Okay, a lot of people asking if we're always planning on living in New York or we're ever gonna move back to the Midwest.
Not the Midwest, but New York for a bit. Not sure how long, but eventually we'll probably move out.
It kind of depends because I think we're both kind of set on not moving back to the Midwest. Not that there's anything wrong with the Midwest. We love it. I think it's a great place to have lived and grown up.
Yeah.
But I think just for what we do and the pace we move and how we just live day-to-day life, we find New York so much more our
accommodating.
Speed. Yeah, we really like it. We're happier. But as far as always living there, I can't say that for sure because it just kind of depends. Hold on, you're not really in it. Are you always like that? Mm-hmm. It just kind of depends on income. New York is very expensive. There's no like beating around that. New York is ridiculously pricey, and so it kind of just depends if we can always afford it. We want kids, and I noticed a few other questions asking about kids and when we want those, and we don't really have like a set time, but we do want them, and so that's gonna be a huge, I mean, we didn't grow up the way that we would raise our kids in New York just because we both lived in kind of rural areas, and so when we would raise our kids in apartments and in New York City, that would be new to us, and we're totally down for it. We think it's great, but it definitely would be new. But I don't think we're ever gonna leave, at least the East Coast. I don't think we'll ever leave.
Yeah. It would be more comfortable for us to raise kids in the Midwest because we grew up living in a house, going to soccer practice. Like, there was like a certain structure around all of it, and since we've done those things, it'd be easier to do in the Midwest. Whereas doing it in New York, possibly living in like an apartment, sending kids to school, using the train, not driving everywhere, there's just differences between the two. And
I don't think one's better than the other. It just is new for us. It also would be easier to come back here and have kids because both of our parents live here.
Yeah, it's foreign to us, like raising kids in a city because we weren't raised in a city, so. Yeah,
but I'm all for it. I think it would be really fun.
You want me to?
No, it's fine. A lot of people are asking what is the worst fight we've ever got in, and if we've ever broken up or come close to breaking up. But I think we've come close before. I would say, which kind of ties into moving and being in New York versus Midwest, I would say probably our worst year was the first year we lived in New York.
Yeah, there was just a lot of stressors there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's pretty well aware how everyone knows on social media that it's definitely a highlight reel, but you probably would have never guessed that we had one of our worst years as like a couple together. The first year we moved to New York, not because we hated New York, but because it was kind of a spur of the moment decision to move to New York. It was, Pat was graduating, we were trying to figure out where to move, and we kind of last minute decided on New York. And I had always loved it there, but we didn't realize the impact it would have on us, kind of up and leaving our two friend groups, everyone, our family, our friends, and we kind of really had that separate until we moved to New York. And that was really hard because we moved into this tiny apartment our first year.
Like everyone does.
Like everyone, yeah. But we went from having our separate friends that we could go to, our families, having kind of like separate identities,
huge support
almost.
System.
Yeah, to going to New York and
I knew one person moving there. I knew Carrie.
Yeah, and I knew Carrie, and that was it. And so it was definitely challenging because we were around. Yeah, we were just around each other so much because we worked together. We couldn't even separate and go to like offices. We were just like around each other so much that we wanted to like,
yeah, like we worked together, we lived together. The apartment was not huge by any means, and like you just don't have, you have to redefine, you have to redefine personal space. And the apartment we were living in college was 3 or 4 times the size. We also always had roommates. So this is like, when we moved to New York, that was the first time we ever lived like alone together. Yeah, which was new. You're kind of like, oh, whoa. And I think a lot of people look at our situation and are like, oh, it must be nice to be in a relationship and have somebody to always take your photos and like always film your videos and you guys are always around each other. Well, it's definitely awesome because we get to do amazing things like travel together. Yeah, for sure. Work together, we have our own schedules, we spend a lot of time together, but at the same time, there's a huge drawback to that where you really have to separate when you're working and when you're being a couple. Because I would say, you know, we've always talked about, a lot of you guys also that I noticed have been asking us like just relationship advice and how to, you know, how to have lasted so long, and we've only been together for like 6 years. Only? I know, but in the big scheme of things, you know, that's a question you ask like your grandparents that have been together forever. You're like, you've done it. But we always say communication, but a huge thing is for us figuring out a balance between YouTube, social media, and us just being off of it and just really being with each other and being a couple that isn't working. We came pretty close, I would say that first year, to being like, I don't know if we can do this. This was a mistake. Like, how do we fix, like, I don't know. It was tough for sure. And but we stuck through and we made it, so that's good. And you guys didn't even, you guys probably didn't even know. That's okay. I want to dip it into the onion ring. I don't want to squeeze it, you know? Oh, you can peel to dip, peel to squeeze. Concept. Okay, so speaking of fighting, a lot of people want to know that, which is okay, because I'd rather talk about real shit than like not. But somebody asked, how do you guys make up after a fight? Does one of you need space and the other one needs to talk it out? I think this is really funny because when we do fight, I'm super quick to just kind of like get over it and like be fine. And Pat needs like a while to really like process everything, and like he needs space. He needs to like, and then talk about it again. So like I'm pretty quick to kind of move my feelings, whereas I just need time to like to process it so I can come back and be like, okay, this is where you're coming from, and here's what I understand, here's what I don't understand. And I also have to take that time to like kind of defuse so I don't say something really stupid that I regret. So that's kind of why we have 2 different approaches to our solutions, I should say. Ooh, this is kind of a fun one. What's your favorite thing to do together? And my answer to this is sometimes Tess and I will go to a new restaurant and we'll sit there and I'll kind of be like, you know, this would be like a really cool workspace. And you'd be like, oh, wait. But we could put like, we basically try to like, if we pretend that the space is our apartment and how we would like rearrange everything. It's not really like an activity. It's more of like a fun game to play at a restaurant. Yeah. But yeah, I get what you mean. I think our favorite, so then maybe what you're saying, I think some of our favorite moments together and what we like to do are just have really spontaneous date nights? Date nights, yeah. We like start at one restaurant and then we'll like maybe go to a movie, or we just like don't plan anything and just kind of go. Because we plan so much with our work, and when we do travel we plan, so it's fun to just kind of be like, oh, okay, we have nothing to do tonight, let's just like go out and see what happens. Is that better? No, need a little bit. We can move. It all of a sudden decided to get super sunny. You didn't like that. All right. Oh, it's recording. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Rock and roll. Ooh, we thought about kid names. Can't say it. We're not gonna tell you, but yeah, we have a boy and a girl name. We actually did that one night. I actually took a picture of it, which I think is really cute, but one night we were out to eat and we were just talking about kid names, and then it was like one of those tables that you could write on, and Pat wrote
we wrote like a bunch of lists of names and like crossed them out. We're not pregnant, guys. We just had the conversation and then we set on like 2 names.
This happened like over a year ago.
One of them I think we've liked for probably the longest.
Even before that game, it wasn't even a game. Even before that initial like us goofing around on that table, we talked about it, and then I forget who wrote it down. You or me?
You
probably
did.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where we're like, yeah, that can stick.
So when we have kids, you'll know that we already thought of their names. But at the same time, I also think that when you actually have a kid, sometimes their name doesn't fit them, so you have to like wait for them to be born to actually really know their name. But we have an idea.
I was supposed to be a couple things, everything on my parents' list.
I was too. What was your name that you were gonna be?
I'd have to ask my mom, but she was like, "You're none of those things. You're a Patrick."
My mom wanted Tess, and my dad wanted Shelby. My mom won, obviously. But they made up for it because my brother, my mom wanted to name him Benjamin, and my dad wanted to name him Nicholas, and Nick won. So, fun fact of the day.
Okay.
I said that.
Okay. What's Pat's work? And I feel like most people just see me as like an Instagram husband. Which, I mean, if you want to call it that, like, that's fine. In some capacity, yes, I take photos of Tess and I video Tess, but I also have other jobs. I'll work on sets, I do test shoots with models, I do many other things that isn't just hanging out waiting for Tess to be like, we have a photo to take.
And also, you guys, if you've watched any of our videos, pretty much, you see that Pat's camera work is exceptional. He doesn't just hold it there and press record. He does amazing things with Steadicams and actual DSLR cameras that he could get hired doing something like that. But I do need him a lot to film these videos, but he definitely has his own passion projects that he works on.
All right, Tess. Do you ever get jealous? Jealous? Gruel. Like from, never mind.
Oh my god,
Do you ever get jealous of Carrie and myself?
Oh, Carrie and Pat.
We're secret lovers.
Yeah, okay, so this is so funny. Some people come down on Carrie too, and they're like, you and Pat are so weird, or like, you're so inappropriate with Pat, like that's Tess's fiance, whatever. Okay, Carrie is like a sister. It's insane, and their relationship is nothing more than siblings. They truly love each other like that. And I mean, we told this whole story about us moving to New York and the only person we knew is Carrie. So us as a
she quickly
threesome,
became like,
don't twist that.
Yeah.
Us as like a threesome. Became really close and really like we just love each other. We just, it's nothing creepy, y'all.
Easily my best friend.
She's just a good friend, and she really cares for us both. And I mean, she's the maid of honor in our wedding. I'm screwing up. She's the maid of honor in our wedding. She loves us both as a couple and individually so much. So it's just really funny. I do not get jealous. I actually really, really love that my friends love Pat and are friends with Pat. I think it would be miserable if I was dating or married to somebody that did not get along with my friends. I would not be dating them. Like, my friends mean so much to me. I always joke how I would marry my group of friends if it weren't for Pat, because I just love them. And so if my friends didn't get along with Pat and he didn't get along with them,
that would be tough.
It just like wouldn't work. Like, we wouldn't work. So add that to the checklist of why we've lasted so long, because I really, really love it. It's one of my favorite things. So no, I do not get jealous. I kind of took that over, but you know. Okay, so I think we answered enough questions. I hope we answered enough questions when I get in for editing. I hope this was fun for you guys to watch. As always, these are meant for you to get to know us a little bit more and kind of break the barrier that is the internet, so you guys feel we want to have like a conversation with you, and I feel like this is the best way to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for following along and being so sweet to us. We're really excited that you're just as excited about the wedding as we are. But yeah, I guess I will see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye. Stop making fun of me, you brat.
I was, yeah, a little bit.
Bye.